Good afternoon. We will now begin our Veterans Day ceremony. For those of you who may not have heard, we will be dedicating a POW chair at Triton today. POW chairs commemorate American servicemen and women who are prisoners of war or missing in action. This chair will remain in the Triton bleachers permanently. In addition, a scholarship has been established to be first awarded to a senior graduating in the class of 2023 with the group called the Patriot Riders. Please remain quiet and respectful throughout this presentation. We will begin by hearing Triton students Colin Weber, Marvin's Pierre Jules, and Daniel Jones sing the national anthem. Please stand. Everyone, if you would please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will now hear from several Triton students who have poems and readings on the importance of remembering our missing veterans. Firstly, I would like to introduce Triton sophomore Abigail Rainsford.
So many fates are left unknown, and so many rumors that abound. So many families ask the question, when will the answers be found? So many years have come and gone. Sometimes hope is hard to keep. There's some who feel there's none, and in some it's buried deep. The pain is in not knowing how to put loved ones to rest when there is no way to prove they have passed the final test. But no matter what the answers, we can't let this cause alone until each and every one of them is found and brought back home.
Thank you very much, Abigail. Next up is Triton Junior Cameron Neary.
For as long as we have wars and we send our young to fight, we'll have those who are missing and the POW's plight. All people of this nation have this duty to fulfill. We must keep them in our thoughts, and we must have the will to bring everyone home and do all we can to find all those POWs and leave no soul left behind. Thank you.
Next, Triton Jr., Izzy Aldoni, will give a speech. Thank you, Cam.
It is an honor to join all of you for this important observance. Every year, on the third Friday in September, the nation remembers our service members and civilians who never returned from war. However, today we are hosting this special ceremony on November 10th, 2022, the day before Veterans Day. Every American still missing and unaccounted for from past conflicts is entitled to one certainty, that he or she will not be forgotten. Throughout American history, many men and women bravely served, sacrificing so much to preserve our country and protect the democratic ideals that make this nation a beacon of hope. Some of those who answered the call to service were captured in conflict and imprisoned by our enemies, and many remain missing to this day. As a nation, we are committed to honoring their sacrifice and will never stop searching for them, and whenever possible, we will bring them home. Each year on the National POW Prisoner of War, MIA Mission in Action Recognition Day, we honor those Americans who were prisoners of war and recognize them for their courage and determination they showed in the face of unspeakable hardships. We also honor those who did not return, especially remembering the sacrifices of their families, who must courageously face each day not knowing the fate of their loved ones. Many Americans, including myself, are inspired by the fierce resolve of generations of American POWs. We also draw inspiration from the bonds of camaraderie, compassion, and love that prompted our POWs to care for each other and sustain each other throughout many months of the years of hardship. These bonds are fundamental to the strength of the American military and one of the characteristics that define us as all Americans. As Americans, we look out for each other, we protect each other, and we vow to never leave a fellow service member behind. Today, more than 82,000 Americans remain missing in action from conflicts that date back all the way to World War II. Our nation continues to search for unaccounted heroes through the efforts of the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency. As the POW MIA flag is raised in communities and POW MIA chairs in honor are placed in locations like ours across America today, let us pause to give thanks for those who have been returned and renew our pledge to those who are still missing and their families. You are not forgotten. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Izzy. Some of you in the stands may have noticed this table next to me. This table is called the Missing Man Table. And now, Triton seniors David Pugh and Parker Hertigan will explain its symbolism and importance.
The table set before you is a place of honor. It is set for one. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that the members of our profession of arms are missing from our midst. They are commonly called POWs or MIAs. We call them brothers. They are unable to be with us this evening, and so we remember them. The table set for one is small, symbolizing the frailty of the prisoner alone against his oppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intentions to respond to their country's call to arms. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep the faith awaiting their return. The red ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breasts of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing.
The candle. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. There is salt upon the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this night. The chair is empty. They are not here. All of you who serve with them, call them comrades, who depend upon their might and aid, and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. Remember, until the day they come home, remember. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. It is now my distinct honor to introduce the state senator for the 2nd Essex District, which encompasses the entirety of the Triton School District, Bruce Tarr.
Thank you very much, Doug, and good afternoon. Good afternoon to every single member of the Triton community who comes together today to respect one of our most solemn obligations as citizens of the United States of America. To remember all of those, particularly on Veterans Day, all of those who have worn the uniform of our country and who have put themselves into harm's way to uphold the ideals that make us the greatest nation in the face of the earth. Ideals like liberty and freedom and justice for all. The great aspiration of America is that every single one of us will enjoy the benefits of those ideals, and that someday people around the world will also enjoy the benefits of those ideals. But in order for that to happen, those ideals must be given life. They must be given life by all of us in the way that we conduct ourselves in our daily lives. But they also must be given life by brave men and women who agree to defend them at every instance where they are threatened, and in every place where they are threatened. And so we, collectively, ask brave men and women to put on the uniform of our country, to swear an oath of allegiance to its ideals, and to go into places that oftentimes are far, far away, and oftentimes are incredibly dangerous in ways that those of us who have not served in the military can't possibly imagine. And time after time after time in the history of this country, those that we have asked have not failed us. Too many times that has meant paying the ultimate price and the loss of a life. Too many other times it's meant bearing the scars of war, physical, emotional, psychological, that are carried with our veterans who have endured those things for all of the days of their lives. And today, you have chosen, appropriately so, to recognize a particular group of veterans who have experienced and are experiencing a fate which we do not fully know and do not fully understand. The governor of the Commonwealth, Charlie Baker, issued a proclamation asking all of us, as he does every year, to recognize tomorrow, Veterans Day, and to participate fittingly in its observance. Here at Triton, you are participating, we are participating fittingly in its observance by recognizing that for more than 82,000 souls, there is not yet closure. There is not yet a welcome home. And for too many families, there are the long days and the long nights of wondering where their loved one is and what their loved one is facing. For too many families, still, there are no complete answers. There is no grave to visit. There is no story to know and to share with future generations. There is the haunting thought that a loved one may be in a faraway place, alone, suffering, enduring, not able to be rejoined by all of us who love them. Those chapters are still not completed, but it's up to us to write the chapters that we can, where we express our love for them, our loyalty to them, our fact that we will never, ever forget them, that we will never ever not have a place in our hearts for them. And on this day, you are doing something so important here today, as the table has been recognized, so that we understand that there needs to be a place at the table as we await their return or the answers about their lives. But today, placing a chair in this stadium reminds us that for many of them, there has never been an opportunity to come and watch a family member on the field, or witness a graduation, or experience so many of the things, the joyful things that happen on this field. What you do today is critical to ensuring that we understand that just as we all can have a seat in this stadium, they have a place of honor. And as we gather to commemorate, celebrate, and enjoy all of those things that happen here in our lives, that we will take a moment. We'll say a prayer. We'll give a thought. We'll rededicate ourselves to saying that we will always remember. We will always pursue accountability. We will always honor these folks in our hearts. And we, as a great nation, will never give up until the questions are answered, those who are missing have returned, and we can bring the closure that their stories, that their chapters deserve. What you're doing here today is so critically important, it's inspirational, and I'm proud to be with you as you do it. May God bless those who are POW MIAs, those who have served and continue to serve our country, and these United States of America that are made great by the people that we remember today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator. Before we continue this dedication, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone who has helped to make this event a reality. I would first like to thank Ms. Densmore and her students, Ben Chadwick and Elias Didion, for providing and setting up the sound system for the event today. I also extend my gratitude to Triton administrators, Brian Forget, Patrick Kelly, and Alan McRae for their contributions in organizing the event, as well as the Triton grounds departments, including Christopher Walsh and Ryan Collins, for their help in setting up the stage, getting these chairs, and having the POW chair itself installed. Momentarily, you will hear Triton teacher and Marine Corps veteran Michael Vanderslice deliver a speech. I would like to thank him for his contribution today and his service, as well as Wanda Coder, Bob Brislin, and Cy Chamovich, as well as all Triton faculty who are veterans. I would also like to thank Bruce Tarr for making some time in his very busy schedule to speak to us today. Finally, I would like to thank Karen Tyler, Don Jarvis, and Tracy Goodwin for their work with the veterans organizations that have made this possible. Also, the student speakers and musicians, including Izzy Aldoni, David Pugh, Cameron Neary, Abigail Ransford, Parker Hertigan, Colin Weber, Daniel Jones, Marvin's Pierre Jules, Andrea Boyle, and Aaron Holscher. They've all done a fantastic job standing up in front of their peers, and a lot of their peers, and making contributions on a serious subject. Organizing this has been quite a journey, and it would not have been possible without a lot of different people making their own contributions. I thank them all, and I would like to introduce Mr. Michael Vanderslice, Triton Spanish teacher and Marine Corps veteran, to the podium.
Good afternoon, Vikings. State Senator Bruce, sorry, Superintendent Forget, Triton students, faculty, staff, administrators, and most welcome guests, we are honored and delighted to welcome you here today and to unite in a single shared purpose. Today, we make a choice. Today, we, the Triton community, choose to set aside this space, this chair, as a place where none of us will ever sit. We choose to set it aside for other people, the missing, the lost, the dead, knowing that they'll never be able to sit in it either. On some future occasion, a football game perhaps, we will again gather here. Triton students and their families, supporters of the visiting team, fans of Friday Night Lights. The stands will be crowded, and we all may be a little uncomfortable. There may even be some people who can't find a seat and lean against the fence or pace back and forth beyond it. But whatever the situation with our own seats, we choose to say, not here. Not here. Here is a special place. Here is a sacred space. Not here. Here is a place where we choose to honor those who are absent and to remind those of us who are present that we should not take this moment nor any other moment for granted. Today we make a choice. I was asked to say a couple of words about my own journey, and it's not about me, but sure, years ago, I made a choice. I chose to join the United States Marine Corps for many reasons. Because the Corps had the hardest and longest boot camp, and because Marines have the greatest pride and the grandest swagger. But above all, I chose the Marine Corps because I had a vision of myself in the future as an old man rocking on my porch, seeing a young man in uniform walk by. And in that moment, I knew what my choice would be. I knew I had to find out if I had what it took to become a United States Marine. So I had to answer the challenge posed in the immortal words of President John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I do not regret my choice. Everyone, today is the 247th Marine Corps birthday. We were born on November 10th, 1775, in a place called Tun Tavern, a popular Philadelphia bar, where the likes of the Continental Congress, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson all had visited before. That 1775 date makes the Marine Corps a year older than the country we have defended for these nearly 2.5 centuries. It is customary and proper on this day to wish people like me or Ms. Coder or any other Marine you meet a happy birthday, a hearty happy birthday. My fellow Vikings and honored guests, this chair represents the people who made difficult and selfless choices to serve their nation, to serve us. And today I've chosen one of them to represent the many to whom this chair is dedicated. Machinist Mate First Class Robert Raymond Scott from Ohio earned the Medal of Honor, the United States' highest military award for valor. I'm going to read his Medal of Honor award citation. And this will be the first of 2 times when I ask you to stand out of respect for this man and honor him. Everybody please stand. Machinist Mate Robert Raymond Scott, First Class. For conspicuous devotion to duty, extraordinary courage, and complete disregard for his own life, above and beyond the call of duty, during the attack on the fleet in Pearl Harbor by Japanese forces on 17 December 1941. The compartment in the USS California, in which the air compressor to which Scott was assigned as his battle station was flooded as the result of a torpedo hit. The remainder of the personnel evacuated that compartment, but Scott refused to leave, saying words to the effect, This is my station, and I will stay and give them air as long as the guns are going. Thank you. Please be seated. Service members, please be at ease. Our choice today in dedicating this chair is to honor those of us who have made the most difficult and consequential choices. Like machinist mate Robert Scott, who chose, as the water was rising around him in a windowless compartment in a sinking ship, to remain in that compartment to give air to other sailors and Marines, even as his ran out. Thank you, and now it's time. So joining me today here are our fellow Triton employees, members of the Triton community, and veterans. Wanda Coder, a fellow Marine, Bob Brislane, representing the United States Navy, and Cy Chamovich, representing the United States Army. So they're going to unveil the chair now. And I'm going to ask them to go and grab a hold of that cover. We ready, vets? Fantastic. Triton students, count down with me. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you, everybody, for your calm and respectful attention. And now this will be the second time that I'm going to ask you to stand for a moment of silence. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much for that beautiful rendition of Taps, Triton seniors Andrea Boyle and Aaron Holscher. That will conclude our presentation today. Thank you very much for your attention and reflection.
Before we conclude, we wanted to just take a moment and recognize you, Doug, for your leadership and your commitment to not only this day, but for your support of veterans all across our region, and for helping to gather us together so that we could have this remarkable moment together to remember our POW MIAs. And so, Doug, from myself and my colleagues in the Massachusetts State Senate, I have a citation that reads, "Be it known that the Massachusetts Senate hereby extends its congratulations to Douglas Aylward in recognition of your dedication and support to the veterans of the Eastern Essex Veterans District. And be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success, that this citation be duly signed by the President of the Senate and attested to and a copy thereof transmitted by the Clerk of the Senate. This is signed by our Senate President, Karen Spilka. It's attested to by our Clerk, Michael Hurley, and I am proud to offer it and proud to represent you in the Massachusetts State Senate, and proud to present this to you on behalf of all of us on November 10th of 2022. Doug, thank you.
I will now hand over the microphone to Mr. Kelly to explain dismissal procedures. Thank you.